I like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and safety to the hopefully elect, all the Akim scattered across the four corners, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. This is another edition from Drop the Mic. What I'm going to deal with, going to be a quick hit, dealing with the missiles. We had a brother from Defender for the Truth, so-called rebuked us, dealing with the missile doctrine. And according to the private interpretation that we was taught from our elders at GMS, that the nuclear destruction is what's going to be the end all be all. All right. And we proved through various lessons, man. And I also left a link with those brothers with the source of that missile doctrine and where it came from. All right. From Bible.org. All right. It's a doctrine of devils, man. All right. And the first scripture I want to start with is in Ezekiel 34. And it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel." All right. And that's what I'm in the spirit of doing, man. All right. Because we're commanded to do that. All right. And it says, prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power. All right. So the Lord commanded his men to prophesy against the shepherds, man. All right. These elders. All right. These guys that's set up as shepherds of Israel, man, as teachers. All right. So the Lord said, prophesy against them and tell them, thus saith the Lord. All right. Tell them what the scriptures say if they going off, man. And that's what these guys are doing, man. These guys are going off. All right. These guys are teaching about planets. All right. Outer space. Okay. Which that's another damnable heresy. All right. Because the scriptures don't support that. That's doctrine. That's another doctrine of devils. All right. Esau, so-called white man, and his scientists and his astrology. These guys teach about planets and outer space. All right. The globe. All right. These guys teaching about the missile doctrine. All right. When Bible.org, all right, has the same breakdown as GMS, man. All right. Because that's where they get it from, man. Word for word, man. Okay. And like I say, we proved in various lessons, man. All right. Dealing with Revelation 9. All right. That's another damnable heresy. All right. A doctrine of devils. All right. Saying that's referring to World War I and Kaiser Warham. All right. So that's why the Lord commanded his men, all right, to prophesy against you guys, man. All right. And tell you, thus saith the Lord, man, what the scriptures say. All right. Unto the shepherds, woe be unto the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. All right. And that's what you have going on, man, amongst all these congregations, man. These elders feeding themselves off the ignorance and simplicity of these guys, man. All right. And it says, should not the shepherds feed the flock? All right. And that's what I'm set up to do. And all the rest of the guys that the Lord have set up to prophesy against these shepherds of Israel that's pushing these false doctrines, man. Okay. So this is our job, man. All right. But if you question these guys on their doctrine, these guys get emotional, man. All right. These guys get emotional. They can't answer no questions. All right. They get emotional with personal insults. All right. And don't want to deal with scripture, man. All right. But the guy had a question, and I'm going to answer the question. Because like I said, that's the job, man. Okay. That's the job. So the first scripture I want to get dealing with this missile doctrine, like I said, we done did various lessons on it. All right. But the guy was so ready to rebuke, he didn't get the understanding. So I'm going to just give it to you with this quick hit. The first scripture I want to get is Psalms chapter 46. Psalms chapter 46 and verse 9. All right. It says, he maketh wars to cease, that he is referring to the Lord. Unto the end of the earth, he breaketh the bow. He cutteth the spear in sunder. All right. So this is what the Lord is going to do to the so-called white man missiles, man. He's going to break their bow and cut their spear in sunder, man. All right. He burneth the chariots with fire. Okay. And we all know the Lord said he's going to come back and plead. All right. Which that word plead means judge, or rather punish with fire. Okay. So now let's give you an example on how the Lord is going to cut they bows, they arrows in sunder, and break they bows, man. This is Ezekiel. We're going to go in the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 38. And we're going to start at verse 1. And it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, and the chief prince of mischief, and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right. And this Gog is referring to the Russians, man. Edomites. Okay. Edomites, basically, man. Okay. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of mischief, and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Verse 6, this is Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tergamor of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right. So now let's get the next precept. In the next chapter, Ezekiel 39, we're going to start at verse 1. And it says, Therefore, son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of mischief, and Tubal. All right, basically Edomites, Edom. And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, and I will cause thee to come up from the north part, and I will bring thee upon the mountain of Israel. Okay. Verse 3. This is the main point. Okay. This is the answer to your question. It says, and I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand. Just like we read in Psalms chapter 46 and verse 9. And I will cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand. So this is what's going to happen to the so-called white man. All right. And all these other nations that's with him. This is what's going to happen to their nuclear missiles, man. All right. The Lord is going to smite the bow out of their left hand and cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Okay. So now let's jump down to verse 10. Jump down to verse 10. And it says, so that they shall not, Salakia, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. This is what's going to happen, all right, to these missiles, man. All right, the Lord is basically going to destroy them, man. All right. So it says, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith the Lord power. Okay, so this is what's going to happen to the so-called white man, missiles, man, and the other nations with the nuclear capability that's joint onto him, man. All right. So now let's go back to Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 22. And it says, and I will plead. All right, we're going to look up this word plead, man. All right, it says to judge. All right, vindicate, punish. All right. So the Lord say, and I will punish, all right, or judge against him with pestilence. All right, and with blood. All right, meaning bloodshed. And I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him an ever-flowing rain and great hailstones. The same hailstones that he used to deliver Joshua and them, man. All right, the same hailstones that spoke of in Revelations, man. Not nuclear missiles, man. Okay. The scriptures don't support that. That's a private interpretation. All right. Basically, that's a doctrine of devils, man, because that comes from Bible.org, from the so-called white man. All right. And I sent you guys the link to prove that. All right. Thus saith the Lord, man. So it says, an overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Now, I don't know how many times we have to go through this brimstone thing with you guys, man, but brimstone, as you can see in the Strong's definition, sulfur. All right. What produces sulfur, man? All right. Volcanoes, man. That volcano ash, man. All right. That's what produced sulfur, man. So that's one of the things that the Lord used for destruction. Not the only thing, man. All right. We read it. Pestilence. What does pestilence mean? All right. Diseases, man. All right. Plagues, man. Okay. It's set up for destruction, man. All right. What you think those 4 angels in Revelation 6 is set up for, man? You have one with the sword, man. He's going to bring the bloodshed. Okay. You have the one, the famine. All right. You have one that bring the pestilence, man. All right. The fire and the brimstone, man. The volcanic ash, man. The overflowing rain, the hailstones, the earthquakes, the tempests, the whirlwinds. You guys don't talk about that, man. But this is how the Lord brings his destruction, man. Not through nuclear destruction. You got these guys using phrases such as nuclear fusion. All right. Saying that the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord nuked them. All right. When the Lord said he rained fire and brimstone, man. All right. Not nukes, man. Not nuclear fusion, man. Like I say, that's a private interpretation of the scriptures. And this is Ezekiel 38 and 22. And I will plead, meaning judge or punish, against him with pestilence and with blood. All right. That's just 2 of those spirits, 2 of those source spirits that the Lord got set up. All right. And with rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and ever-flowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone, man. All right. Fire and brimstone. So just to recap, I want to get that Psalms 46 again and verse 9. And it says, he maketh wars to cease. All right. Unto the end of the earth, he breaketh the bow. All right. So this is what the Lord is going to do. He's going to smite the bow out of his left hand and cutteth the spear in sunder. All right. He's going to knock the arrows out of their right hand. He burneth the chariots in the fire. Okay. He's going to burn all their weapons up, man. All right. Their fighter jets. All right. Their nuclear weapons. All right. All the so-called white man weaponry, man. Okay. Now, I hope you was edified, and I hope I answered your question. And with that, shalom.